All right, welcome to my desk. Today we're going to be looking at this RaceFace Ride stem. Comes in this little Ziploc bag. It's pretty hilarious. It does unzip in the back here, which is kind of funny. I don't know why it's in a Ziploc bag, but it is. This is a 31.8 by 70 millimeter long, and it's a 6-degree stem. We have an installation guide. Ooh, pictorial. How nice. We have stickers. And then we have the stem itself. Let's see what we see about this guy. RaceFace, as you know, is a Canadian company. This stem is made in Taiwan. And it looks to be like a pretty quality piece. Unfortunately, I don't have a scale to weigh it for you. There's just a tiny bit of rub right there from the shipping damage, which is to be expected when you package it in a bag, I suppose. But it's not too bad. Everything else looks okay. Now, the thing I really don't like about RaceFace Ride series is these logos. I think they're a bit obnoxious. They're on their seat post as well, which I purchased, and I have that video. So I think it's just a bit much for me. I wish it was a little bit more subtle. You know, I don't mind the logo on the front here, but this is just, again, not my style. What I do like, though, is that the bolts here, both the pinch bolts around the stem as well as the stem cap here, they're the same size. In other words, this looks like maybe it's a 4 or 5 mil, somewhere in there. And they're the same. Some stem companies, these bolts here will take a different key than this, and that just annoys the crap out of me. But this one, luckily, they're all the same. Let's take a bolt out to see if they've added any Loctite for us, and they didn't. So these are not like pre-Loctited. Let's take a look at one of these guys. Nope, no Loctite here. So if you want to use Loctite, you're on your own. The stem is hollow. I think that's what contributes to the weight. Sometimes you'll see this plate, it goes all the way around and as well as here. So you don't get this total pipe action here. So that's cool that it has that. And again, the rise is 6 degrees. The length is 70 millimeters on this one. The finish is kind of a matte. And I don't really see any significant imperfections in the casting here. You know, there's just a little bit. You should be able to see a little divot right there. But again, you really would have to look for the stuff to find anything. So pretty happy with it. It's a basic stem. It's at a price point, and that's why I bought it. And I think it's going to serve me well. All right, so step one would be to slide the stem onto your fork steer. Then you would put your bar on there and put the cap on. You measure that the gaps are equal. In other words, when you're tightening this down, you want to have the gap at the bottom and the top to be identical. So you don't want to be crooked like this or like this. You want the gaps to be even. It wants you to torque to stem specifications and do it in a crisscross pattern. So you're not tightening down top and then bottom or left and right. You want to go across. So A, B, C, D. That's the proper way. Then you would torque your stem cap to make sure that there's no play in your bearings, in your fork bearings. You adjust your stem to be in line with your tire, with your fork. And then you torque your pinch bolts to specification. And this must be a generic document because there is no specifications in here. They're right here. It says 31.8, 6.2 Newton meters, or 55 inch pounds. That's the spec on these guys. And there's some kind of marking inside, but that doesn't appear to be any spec. Yeah, kind of interesting. Here it says ST30A, 70 millimeter, 6 degree, 0320. Don't know exactly what all that's referring to besides the 70 millimeter and the 6 degree. Maybe a production date and a model. But yeah, so it doesn't tell you what the torque specs are on the pinch bolts, but these guys up here are 6.2 Newton meters or 55 inch pounds. Again, pretty happy with what I see so far, aside from the obnoxious branding. And go mount this on my Surly to accept the Jones H bar, the loop bar. So hope this helped you in some shape or form, fashion. I'll let you know in the future if I have any issues here. So you can kind of see some of the casting issues I mentioned before. The holes kind of not perfectly round. Got a little divot right here. So some casting issues here, not perfect, but it is a price point. I think this was $23 before taxes in the US. So anyway, I'll end it right here. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.